And now I have the pleasure to introduce to you the person that when he opens his mouth, there was a commercial once that on television when E.F. Hutton speaks. Well, when this person speaks, we all go. He's a legend in his own time. Not many of us, not many people in the world have been able to create anything that can mature and evolve around the world within their own lifetime. Most people's creativity goes unnoticed until they're gone. Dr. Maulana Karenga has given us the African culture holiday of Kwanzaa. But even more than that, he's given the world 7 principles to live by. And I don't care where you teach, whether it's in a public school, an independent school, a charter school, a church, your backyard, wherever you are as a parent, wherever you are, whatever you do, these principles should guide who we are and what we are to become so that we can have a future where our children will flourish. These principles should be the standard by which we evaluate every action in our lives. Last week I attended the Saba conference and I listened to the presenters and how we were able to use those standards. I use the Saba to evaluate my teachers. Our students use them to evaluate themselves. You can evaluate your church community by the Saba. You can evaluate the social welfare department by the Saba. You can evaluate anything in your life by these standards. What more could you ask for than unity as a people? What more than self-determination of an organization? How can you be in an organization if there isn't collective work and responsibility? And as a people, we have to learn to have cooperative economics. We must have a purpose. The organization must have a purpose. And in order to keep that purpose alive, you have to be creative. And in order to do all of the above, you must have faith in yourself, in your family, in your people. Is there anything else? Besides this foundation of mind of truth, justice, propriety, order, balance, harmony, and reciprocity, the only other measure of us as a people would be from the Saba. Dr. Maulana Karenga is a professor in the Department of Black Studies at California State University, Long Beach. He is also chair of the President's Task Force on Multicultural Education and Campus Diversity at California State University. Dr. Karenga holds 2 PhDs. Did you hear? His first in political science with a focus on the theory and practice of nationalism, and his second in social ethics with a focus on the classical African ethics of ancient Egypt. He also holds an honorary doctorate of philosophy from the University of Durban, Westville, South Africa. Moreover, he is the director of the Kawaida Institute of Pan-African Studies, Los Angeles, and national chairman of the organization US, a cultural and social change organization, so named to stress the communitarian focus of the organization. Dr. Karenga has had a profound and far-reaching effect on Black intellectual and political culture since the 1960s. Through his organization, US, and his philosophy, Kawaida, he has played a vanguard role in shaping the Black arts movement, Black studies, the Black power movement, Black student union movement, Afrocentricity, rites of passage programs, the study of ancient Egyptian culture as an essential part of Black studies, the independent black school movement, African life cycle ceremonies, the Simba Wachanga youth movement, and black theological and ethical discourse. Has he changed the world or what? Dr. Karenga is also widely known as the creator of Kwanzaa, an African-American and Pan-African holiday celebrated throughout the world African community, on every continent in the world. He is the author of the authoritative book on the subject Kwanzaa, a celebration of family, community, and culture, and lectures regularly and extensively on the vision and values of Kwanzaa, especially the Nguzo Saba. Dr. Karenga has also played a key role in National United Front efforts, serving on the founding and executive committee of the Black Power conferences of the 60s, the National Black United Front, the National African American Leadership Summit, the Black Leadership Retreat, the National Association of Kawaida Organizations, and the National Organizing Committee of the Million Men March Day of Absence. He is also on the Millions More Movement Executive Committee. Dr. Karenga is author of numerous scholarly articles and books, including Introduction to Black Studies, the most widely used text in Black Studies, selections from the Lucia Sacred Wisdom of Ancient Egypt, which we all need to have in our libraries, the book of Coming Forth by Day, the Ethics of Declarations of Innocence, our 42 Commandments and not 10, Kawaida, a communitarian African philosophy, and a translation and ethical commentary on the classical Yoruba text entitled Odu Ifa, the ethical teaching on the classical Yoruba text entitled Odu Ifa, the ethical teaching. Read that also. His most recent publication is Mat, the Moral Ideal in Ancient Egypt, a study in classical African ethics. You need all of these books. Today I present to you Dr. Maulana Karenga, and he's going to talk to us about how to be so that we can become and leave a future for our children with guiding principles of ethics and ethos. Dr. Maulana Karenga.
Jane, on behalf of my organization, us, and my wife, my companion, and all things good and beautiful, Chimoyo, and myself, we'd like to say, welcome among us. You will always find your family in a peaceful place. And we wish for you blessings without number and all good things without end. And we bear witness as an African people that as our beginning was great and good, so shall our development to our eternity be if we dare struggle, speak truth, do justice, and walk in the way of right.
Come on.
Ocha. Ashe. Let me say first a thank you to Dr. Freya Rivers of Sankofa Publishing and all Sankofa, I'm sorry. See? Sankofa Publishing, and all the organizers of the Challenge of Genius Conference. Let's give her a strong hand and all that. We see, actually, you know, I could have gone over that and I could have let you sit down, but you'd have been heavier by it. And you would not have done what you came here to do. You're not here really to learn simply from data. You're here to be reinforced in the paradigm you say you're putting forward.
Come on.
And you know, a lot of times I should get up again. I'm diverting something else. I want to say this because I'm a nationalist, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always watching nationalists.